I'm in the month of August,
Mm-hmm.
and from August to December 15th, this is for the fall semester that I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, also, I had come for the UN water conference.
Right, I
Uh,
remember that.
yeah, so after that, now I have come, and almost I am traveling to different universities and colleges because OLF under outreach lecturing program that I am being invited, and I am visiting few other colleges also.
Right. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? I see that I think my camera has just frozen.
Yeah, I see that.
Let me see if I can close it. If you-
Research on the wastewater treatment plant of the Vats Island.
Right.
And during that period, in fact, when I started, and my condition for the Fulbright was this only, that I'll come and study the wastewater treatment plant because I'm doing
Right.
a lot of river rejuvenation work across India as well as other countries also. As I'm the member of Indian River Basin Council and then
Mm-hmm.
World Water Council member, as well as being a People's World Commission for Droughts and Floods. And that's how we had in fact done a side event for the BCC CUNY also when we were invited by UN. So in BCC CUNY we had conducted this particular side event on the droughts and floods advocacy for the climate resilience. So, in that sense, that I wanted to know more about the wastewater treatment plant, and I visited then Watts Island wastewater treatment plant of 275 million liter gallons capacity. But as I was thinking, like, because we know America is very good at technology, engineering, and all. So I thought that probably I'll get to see something different and a proper solution for the wastewater treatment plant. But I found that almost all the STPs or the treatment plants are made on the fundamental technical civil engineering, and that way infrastructure is developed because they don't go into the deep of the microbial molecular degradation of the organic matter, because once they will do that, because as much the claim is about the bioreactors are having that kind of a bacteria, but it's not possible unless there is a synergy with the soil microbes. So that's what I feel. And then with the principle, I just checked the efficacy with the principle of sewage and the science of sewage. And from that point of view, then I had to wind up the research instead of going further into identifying the microbes in the different units and all that, because I was feeling that it was again, it will be again a futile exercise if I go ahead with. So I had some queries which I had put it to, Dr. Ramalingam. Krish Ramalingam in City College. He's the civil engineering college department. He's heading this particular, I think, project of operation and maintenance with the wastewater treatment plant. And that's how he helped me to visit that place. And then I could get some data, and from that I could make out it's the same. Only we have now converted these treatment plants into the water resource recovery, like we are trying to recover the gas or the electricity and all that way, or maybe the nutrients NPK. So that's what we are up to now. But then when it comes to treating the pathogens and all, it's probably not happening at the way it has to be, only because the flawed way these treatment plants are designed. Flawed way, when I say, it's about the aeration, which is 75% of the cost, but aeration is not required at all when we talk about the microbes degradation, because they work on the oxidation, not oxygenation. So this is what the thing is. Another is about the dilution, the along with the drainage water, all other water is also added and brought, all water is brought together, the grey water, domestic water, and all that. Because of that, the high dilution which is happening, so ultimately it is not allowing the degradation to happen, and that's how the acetates are remaining as it is before and after. And ultimately, when we take it to the last treatment unit, we do treat it with the sodium hypochlorite, but then this hypochlorite is not able to treat the pathogens. So, from my point of view and from the science point of view, we understand that again the pathogens are going back to the water bodies, and we are still working on the flood system of activated sludge process. So, I think I'm not able to hear your voice again.
I think it's just this computer. I
Okay.
have another one. I just haven't had the inclination to
Okay.
basically move from one computer that I've been using for 10 years
Okay.
to another newer one, which I know I should. I just have to move all my.
So from that point of view, when I was discussing, then I thought of you people. And then while I was discussing with the River Keeper group, and on that River Keeper group, I see that a lot of work the Queensborough Community College has done, a lot of work with them. And I can see a lot of paper publications which has been, put in the website of the River Keeper. And that's how I thought that I should talk to you. Through you, probably I will be able to connect more to the Queensborough College people. And when I saw that, yeah, your work, because last time when we did the summit, I could not know about your work. So studying, you said that you are studying about the density stratification and how it affects the hypoxia. So please, if you can tell me a little about it. Again, your voice.
So I actually work at the other end. So if you're interested at the sewage treatment plants, I'm looking at where the sewage actually dumps the water in. So in particular, I've been doing work in Long Island Sound. Are you familiar with the area, Long Island Sound?
I have heard about, but I have not seen it yet.
Let me pull up a
Yes,
map.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh my, what's going on? I'm not sure. Okay. So anyway, so this is Long Island Sound. So the problem we have in uh, Long Island Sound, and so this is basically where we are. So here's the Bronx over here.
Yeah.
This is where we are, Queensboro. And
Right.
so over the years, I've been collecting data
Okay.
to see you know, we'll talk more about the data later. But the problem we've been having is, and a lot of the regions in the United States basically, is the sewage treatment plants basically dump a lot of nutrients into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And these nutrients just kind of feed the phytoplankton, and then eventually the phytoplankton sink to the bottom and they decompose, and in the process they suck up the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's a map of well, it's a hypoxia map, but generally you could see that the parts closer to New York City, where most of the uh, sewage treatment plants are,
Yeah.
and also there's less flushing, because we have water coming in and brings in fresh water,
Right.
and also brings in oxygen. So you could see that areas around New York City
Yeah.
are actually more prone to hypoxia.
Right.
And this is actually not a good thing because, again, the fish, especially the shellfish, uh, any biology near the bottom will be affected.
Yeah.
And what New York City and the surrounding area have been trying to do, there's a government organization called the Interstate Sanitation Commission or something along those lines, and they help coordinate sewage treatment in New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and they're actually investing heavily on denitrification uh, equipment. So when you visited the sewage treatment plants, did they kind of like show off their multi-billion dollar equipment to reduce the nitrogen? So that's what
Right.
they've been trying to do.
Right.
And in fact, there has been a significant improvement in the conditions of water uh, in Long Island Sound.
Mm.
Uh, Bacteria, not so much. It really isn't a problem here. I'm not sure why, but we do have, for example, like anytime it rains, like you mentioned, both the rainwater and the sewage treatment plant uh, and the sewage water actually connect. So when it rains, basically no water is treated and everything's just dumped into the surrounding water areas, and that's why like sometimes after like intense rain, we do get bacterial blooms, which is they have to close the beaches and things like that. I do work on the chemistry and the physics of the ocean, of the water. So I kind of like look at the density stratification. Let's see if there's a picture of that here. Uh, so this problem mostly occurs during the summer. And the reason for that is because during the summer, the water near the top is hotter and it's lighter, so it doesn't have to mix the way.
Your voice is gone low. Just
Anyway, we just call up the meeting. Let me see.
yeah.
At the lately, and so I look at the density stratification, and that will help us predict whether there's a likelihood of hypoxia happening in Long Island Sound. So I think one of the conclusions that we did draw is that yes, the water quality is getting better. The nitrogen content of the total nitrogen content of the water is going down, which we should hope. The only thing we also discovered that even though the nitrogen's going down, they haven't been treating the phosphate, and so now the phosphate has been going up significantly. So maybe not now, but in the future, I could see the chemistry of the sound changing significantly.
But tell me, because now you are saying that nitrogen is going down. That's what you are getting the reading from the area. But what I have come to know that in this city college, when they are doing complete study of this treatment plant, in the process they have made an arrangement where they are trying to recover nutrients. Like when they are recovering means they are recovering this nitrogen, phosphorus and all. So probably when they are releasing this in the release of the water which is going on from the treatment plant, probably because they are removing this now, specifically nitrogen, phosphorus. So maybe because of that, this is reducing, which you are reporting that it is seen to be reducing. Is it so?
Right, that's exactly what's happening. So yes, they are removing the nitrogen from the water on purpose. I mean, this is something we've known for a while. And nitrogen was the biggest culprit. So we are seeing a reduction in the nitrogen. I mean, I have graphs here somewhere. But just something that the other nutrients are going up. Like, for example, phosphate and silicates are still going up. But the amount of water the amount of area that's affected by hypoxia does appear to be going down. So maybe it's working.
Yeah, yeah. But then, as I saw, that all these areas where these actually I did the digital mapping also, and from the digital mapping we have tried to find out the locations of the discharge, this drainage discharge. So that facilities which I saw that it is all on the banks of these water bodies. So
Right.
So when we say here, whenever I'm talking to the treatment plant people or the people those who are working on the treatment plant, they always talk only about the CSOs.
Okay.
They say that it is only the during the CSO, like during the wet season only we have a problem, but I think it's not that. See, your this photograph also shows how they are around the water bodies areas only, the discharge units.
Right. Right.
Ultimately, it is most of the time when we say that during the dry season, there is no release. I don't think so, because yesterday also when I was on the Rondell Island and I was discussing with the Rondell Island Park Alliance group. So like when the new establishments or anything when it comes up there, because the pipelines which are laid, the network of the pipelines which are laid, they have a fixed capacity. And when there are certain establishments growing there, that means that pipelines are not able to take the load. At the same time, as per the norms of this sewage treatment plant, that every 30 years there has to be, they have to lay these pipelines, they have to renew this, like every time they have to change after 30 years at least, but they have not happened even for 100 years, that nobody does that. So that is the major issue which we see, that as much we say that it is not causing any kind of contamination further, but I believe as it is already on these discharge points are all on the sites, and there is, and regular monitoring from these discharge sites is very very essential. When I went to because to get all these datas, it will take a long time for me. For that I just tried to explore the websites of river keepers and others, where I get to see the regular monitoring of these areas. Now when I saw the river keepers group, I saw during the dry season they are checking on the enterococcus, otherwise we are doing on the E. coli. So it is like enterococcus itself, the number and the raising numbers also is showing that it's not that during the dry season nothing is coming out from the pipes. So a regular monitoring, I believe it is required. That's what I feel.
Yeah, they actually do regular monitoring. I'll show you the data in a little while. So they actually do regular monitoring once a month. The data is collected once a month throughout the year. And it's done both in Long Island Sound, but also in New York Harbor. I'll show you all the data.
Yeah.
There's another thing I want to tell you. I can't remember right now. But yeah, so I could actually just show you where everything is, and you could look at it. In Long Island, I'm not familiar with the. I used to be part of an organization called Sound Watch, like Long Island Sound Watch, which is the Sound Keeper.
Okay.
But over the years, I just had too much to do, so I stopped collecting data for them. I believe they're not collecting data anymore. But in the Sound, both the New York City DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, and the Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection is also, they're collecting. There's a lot of data on the Sound. Okay. And it's actually very high quality data as opposed to the New York City data, which is a little bit more, it varies. The quality of the data does vary significantly, but it goes back for a long, long time, to almost the turn of the century, which is actually kind of nice.
So can you connect me to this Long Island Watch group?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, you please share their numbers. I will try to, and then you please connect.
I'll show you it.
Yeah.
Here's where is it? Let's see. Connecticut. This is the data for Long Island Sound. I'll email you all the links.
Yeah.
And so basically, you could see. There's a lot of information here. There's buoy data. There's currents. I actually just go to the the portal that, for the water quality.
Okay. Here, that's the beauty I find, that every time you go to websites, there is lot of information available.
Yes, too much sometimes. That's
yes,
the problem.
too much sometimes. Yeah.
So basically, it tells you, what's out there.
Yeah.
So let's look at station data, and you should be there should have been a map here of where the stations are. I like to look at the CTD data.
Yeah.
But you could also, for example, if you're interested in the chemistry, these they look at silica, the chlorophyll.
Yeah.
So basically, this is all the chemical data that they look at. So this is the model data.
Yes.
Let's again. I'm a physical oceanographer, so I like CTD data, and then you could download it as a table, and you could just A2. Again, I don't remember where the stations are. It's got the lat long here.
Okay.
And then we could just download it. And so here's all the data.
Right.
For taken at look at data. So here you have the cruise. So this took place in April 1991.
Yeah.
And they do have data, up to date. 94.
Yeah.
It goes. Actually, they might have stopped in 94. Sometimes some of the stations go on nonstop.
Yeah.
Others, the data is not so consistent.
Yeah.
So let's look at this one here. April 91. Control copy. Paste. I don't know what the parameters are. Let's see. So let's say we want to do
pressure conductivity.
Versus,
yeah. Salinity.
Just do temperature.
Yeah.
Or salinity. Pressure versus oxygen. There's no oxygen. So pressure and salinity. So that's F and N. So F and N. And
yeah.
Actually, wait, hang on. Let me make it the right way. Okay. Why is it? Oh, wait, I got it backwards. Should be the other way. Sorry. I don't use Excel for looking at data because
it's very handy that way.
Yeah. What's going on? This should be X, and then this should be Y.
Yeah. But tell me, Paul, all these readings, all these datas are available. Then
yes, I will give you all the links.
Yeah, these all datas are available, but then why this, suppose at the government level, because when I was in the Farmingdale, one professor was telling me, why don't you speak with the politicians? Because ultimately, if we have to save the Long Island and the sound thing, then we have to talk to the politicians for the corrective measures. But when already the datas are there, isn't the authorities making use? Because datas are there means they are making use. So why is it that such a lot of in the that sound area also lot of lands have been already given for sale, and then again now they are restoring by again paying them compensation, and then restoring the places. All this is happening now. And
yeah. Unfortunately, there's the science, and then there's the economics and the politics.
yeah.
But I do think, especially in Long Island Sound, they are making efforts to improve the water quality because, again, it does affect the economics because a lot of people use this water for recreation, for fishing. So they've invested on it, and I think that's something that people are, especially like the local governments are looking to.
But now fishing, kayaking, swimming, all things have now been closed down almost, and very less of fishing is happening at the individual level.
No, the water quality in Long Island Sound has significantly improved, and also New York Harbor.
Okay.
It's got, again, I mean, I grew up in the 70s, and back then nobody would swim in the water. But the water quality since then, in the last, I mean, this was New York City, and when people think of New York City, it wasn't something that they would look on very, very favorably. But I think nowadays, in recent years, I think the water quality is significantly improved. So I mean, it could be, it's not pristine, because we're, in a major metropolitan area, but it's a lot better. And I think it's okay to swim, although there will be times where,
what do you feel? What has brought this change? What do you feel that why these things could be changed? What are the measures have been taken place?
Well, I think people, first of all, at the local level, there were these NGOs, non-governmental organizations, that people who lived around the area, and they were concerned about the water. They were concerned about their health, and so it was a grassroots effort to collect information, to collect data about the water. And then over the years, different people, different agencies have kind of worked on the problem. And it is getting better. It's a lot better now than it used to be.
Can you show some pictures of how they are doing fish capturing or fish catching in that area of the Long Island? Which are the areas and how they are doing, and what kind of fishes are nowadays available? Or maybe about even the survey which has been taken place where because we see the quantity and quality of fishes also gone down, or the habitats, the spawning habitats. Because of that, this restoration work is now more being done by dismantling the small even dams.
I am not familiar with the fish.
Okay.
I'm actually not I don't know very, very little about the biology. I work mostly dead things.
No, because you are working on the stratification part, and then about you said about the hypoxia, because mainly these are the things which are to do with the organisms, aquatic organisms.
Yes.
So that is the reason that I thought, because it is more about like nowadays we are doing more collaborations with all the different bodies. Like I see in here in New York, DEC, that is Department of Environment Conservation. They are more doing these activities of like working with the aquatic organisms and fish, and release of fish and all these things. That they are engaging lot of community people in this.
Yes. So I actually am familiar with, for example, this paper here. They kind of graded the waters around the New York City area, and they graded according to several indicators: dissolved oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus. I think this is chlorophyll,
Yeah.
and how clear, and that's a second disc.
Yeah.
And again, this is, they gave it a score. I mean, it's not C minus, D, which is not a great score, but it's a lot better than it used to be. So
Okay.
I think there's still work to be done. For example, Jamaica Bay.
Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with Jamaica Bay, but I do have friends who work there.
Okay.
And there, the water it does not flush. You know, the water's very, it's not open to the ocean a lot.
Okay.
So it doesn't get flushed in and out very easily. So overall, the water quality on Jamaica Bay is not the best. On the other hand, like regions that are further out, further access to the Atlantic Ocean, tend to do a little bit better. And I think part of it is the water, the clean water from the oceans coming in and, you know, helping to clean out that part of the harbor.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know too much about the fish.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. I do more the chemistry and the physics of the water.
Yeah. So, but I am happy that I could today talk to you, and so much things you have shown me, and actually I wanted these things to know more, and it has really added to my information and knowledge even. So I will definitely try to, is there any opportunity that I can come meet you and even to others, those who are doing water monitoring in the college? Because one time when I am here, I would like to meet people also, and being a Fulbright, I'm asked to, as many places, if I can ask the colleges to, you have to, in fact, like it's like a kind of an invitation. Yes, you please come and we would like to interact, and that is like a record to the university also, or the college, that Fulbright was hosted and the lectures were conducted, or sharing of thoughts and ideas and research was done. So that way I'm trying to go to many of the institutions, meet them, and try to see all these things, because as such I find, as I already mentioned, that lot of things are already there in the websites. But it's more important to meet with people, collaborate, and for a long term, because the issues of water bodies are not confined to one country. It's now becoming more transboundary. So, so that is the reason that each one of us, because we have also developed some river manifesto, and in river manifesto, in fact, this work, it is actually very, very worth. And one day I would definitely like to invite you and speak to our Indian River Basin Council. And in terms of this study itself, the stratification work which you did of the density stratification and effects on the hypoxia, on this topic itself, because it's a vast kind of a topic, and to understand a lot about the water bodies and how they have to be maintained in terms of wastewater treatment, as well as the influx or the river flow and all these things, because these are the areas and these are the ways that we have to integrate our studies with others, so that a holistic views can be developed, and some solutions, long-term solutions, have to be made, and then we have to share with many stakeholders these things.
Sure.
So
okay. Yeah, so definitely we could meet. I could either go to the Bronx. Where are you living? Where are you staying while you're here?
I stay in Long Island. I'm staying here in Long Island.
Okay, I actually am right nearby Long Island. Where in Long Island?
I'm in Hexville, Pewter Lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could meet.
Sometime if I can go and even visit with you this place, and we can see and how actually, because it's very, very important to physically visit these areas. And I was looking forward to visiting this area, and that was the reason that I thought I will connect with you and let us see how we can go there and see the place also. Because it's more about creating now awareness among the local people also. And unless local communities are engaged in these kind of activities and work, for the regular monitoring or for the observations, I think nothing much can be achieved then. So that's the reason we have to collaborate with each other. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
data. That's in your carbon. This might be it. Okay, so we were talking about Long Island Sound, so mostly the area to the east of here.
Yeah.
But New York City also, collects and it has an extensive data set I was telling you about. And I'll send you all these links.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it? Location, let's see, it's here. Let's just download the whole thing. Let's see the S for Excel. This might take a while though.
Yeah.
But basically, this has all the data for the DEP.
Here, one thing is very good that I have seen that even the DEP is very proactive in involving any of the people, those who are coming forward with the proposals, and they sanction funds, and it's a good work which is happening. And that's how sustainability, recently only some sustainability fund is also approved to BCC CUNY also, and they keep on doing that. And with the Governor's Island, I find that there is a lot of scope that in the Governor's Island also a lot of space is being provided to anybody who wants to do this kind of sustainability projects, and they are allowing. And that's how actually I got connected with about the marine biology research project. One Mauricio Gonzalez is there. I will in fact share your number with him, and you can also, in which he has designed some curriculum, and with some colleges even he has some credit transfer kind of courses which is developed, and hands-on training is being provided to high school students who can then in the transition they can get easily admissions in the higher education institutions. And they are getting very well skilled. They are getting good skill of project management, then about the research, and then going on the field trips. They are going on the vessels, and I don't find much of the college students also going this way, the way the school is trying to give exposure to the student there. And that's how I was going one day. That means on the Wednesdays I used to go teach, also team teach, and even went to the field with them. And on one day they keep it like after the school they are cleaning the coastal areas. So it's a combination of so many good things. Yeah. So I think you will be very helpful to them, and I will ask Mauricio to speak with you also.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I could see fecal coliform. So AR. So I just picked some data set. What they say was AF, right? Okay. What did I do? Let's see what the water quality is like at this station. So I'm going to plot fecal coliform from 2006 to 2021.
2021, yeah.
All right, let's see what it looks like. What's going on? There's always a problem with this. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just plot this one by itself. Yeah, so basically this is what it looks like when you... it does appear to be relatively low.
Yeah.
Except that every once in a while you have an event
Yes.
And that's usually, if I think one of the studies we did had a student and they actually looked at precipitation versus bacteria,
Yeah.
and it actually, there was a correlation between like days of, a lot of rain. That's when we actually, stopped treating the water, and that's where you actually had these high bacterial events.
But it's not even year-wise because you just selected from...
I just selected, this was station
Okay.
FLC1. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. This is a water quality report. And also, so this is from 2019 to 2021.
Yeah.
And so these are the stations. So basically, this is all the data that they're collecting. And then it tells you. I mean, honestly, there's so much information out there. There's so much data to work with.
Yeah.
Well,
Today, data is not an issue at all. Today, data is not an issue. To work out the solution is the issue.
Yes. Yeah, so in fact, there's too much data.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I do is just a lot of data analysis, a lot of working with large data sets,
yeah,
and extracting different pieces of information,
right,
and try to make sense of, of the, millions and millions of data points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
So I'll send you a link to
yes,
all
please,
this information.
please. Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get together after the semester's over, like maybe in December.
Yes, sure, sure.
I mean, if you're in Long Island, Hicksville,
yeah,
I'm 15, 20 minutes away.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. So sure. Just let me know because up to 31st December I am here. And before winding up with my this report also, if you can give me little time, maybe in the after 9th of December, because 5th to 8th I have been invited by Ohio. At Ohio I am going because at the Cleveland World Affair group has with in collaboration with Fulbright that invited me for a presentation on the sewage and the public health, sewage treatment and the public health. So I'm going there. And after coming back probably on 9th, if I can get some time with you to visit those places, so it would be good. I want to put it in the report also, so that a good report along with what needs to be done, because I'm going to share this with the DP and others also. It's not just going to be a Fulbright's report, but I want that it should be shared with the stakeholders, whoever can use it, and then corrective measures can be done. Because I believe when US government has spent so much on a Fulbright scholar here, and I have done work with few people connecting, and that should be put to, accountability also is supposed to be fixed, like this has to be with some use. This work has to be of some use. Right. So that's how. So thank you so much, Paul, that in a short notice that you responded to my mail, and then we could discuss and
keep in touch.
Okay? Yeah, sure.
Well, let's get together.
Yes. Yes.
And then we'll look some more at the what's around here.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Lovely talking to you today.